Man, what a great episode of My Hero Academia. I don't know the words that I can express to show how good this episode was. Now, of course, I believe it started off kind of slow a little bit. They're trying to get their feelings out as far as the villains are prepping themselves for the final battle, and the heroes are prepping themselves for the final battle. So they're all like getting into their own feelings and stuff. But man, once this battle commenced, it commenced strong. And I definitely was awaiting it. Now, they did a really good job of trying to misdirect the audience and thinking that, oh man, did Aoyama decide to actually really betray Deku and his friends? Like, oh man, I could tell it was acting because, they trying to been building up to the hype. And it's like, okay, all right, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. And they did a really good job of before showing All For One using the search ability to see where everyone's at. Whenever you see those stars showing positions, that's him using the search ability that he stole. But man, did they make a grand entrance. Here it is, All For One just bringing everyone in. It is like, all right, this is who you're up against. But then all of a sudden he's like, wait, what's that portal? And here it is, the hero's like, hey, we got our own way to coming in, which was really good because, like I said, he has a search ability. He saw that, it was like, oh, there's no one around. So here we go. We can win and beat one for all. But it helps for the heroes to have a plan as well. So just the grand entrance on both sides was amazing. Villains coming in, heroes coming in, and they're like, all right, let's get this party started. Let's get it done. The way that they tricked All For One is, I think, actually a lot easier to understand than you would think. Now, the key to the hero's plan was utilizing both of these two. This is my hypothesis. In order to trick All For One, they made a point to say, oh, he could tell if someone is lying to him, has ill will towards him. And he even made a point to say it was a really old quirk. He doesn't even remember the name of it anymore. But the key is you have the guy on the left has the quirk brainwashing, which we saw when he was fighting Midoriya way back in the day, season 1, I believe. He's able to use brainwashing. I bet you he brainwashed everyone right before they made the phone calls to All For One. So then that way, when they were talking to him, they were acting like they were regular, the regular control he had over them. So he couldn't read any ill will or no plans towards them. The guy on the right, his quirk copy, he's able to copy quirks of other heroes. And in this case, he copied the quirk of the guy that teleports, that's one on the villain side. And was able to utilize bringing everyone in because they know All For One has the search ability. They know that he can see where people are at. So everyone just kind of stands by, chilling. And then when the time to act comes, bam, he teleports all the heroes in, which was great use of one, showing the panel of the villains coming in and the heroes coming in. But notice that both abilities are technically villain abilities. He had the copy of villain ability of teleport, which was utilized in the first few seasons of the show. And then afterwards, now All For One is using that blob teleport ability or whatever that we've seen in the last few seasons. So unfortunately, heroes don't really have anyone that can teleport them into a fight, but they're able to utilize the villain abilities to their advantage, especially after they've caught them. It just was honestly just a great scene and really set the tone of like, okay, it's about to go down right now. Finally, I want to talk about Aoyama. Now, we've had the last few episodes really stressing about Aoyama and who he is and this whole betrayal that he's done. But there's only a couple more things I want to flesh out here. One, look at the eyes of Aoyama. If you actually go back and look in the last, like this episode and the last few episodes of Aoyama, his face has actually been drawn more honest than they were in previous seasons. You can see here how he's been stressed out, a lot of big issues that's been happening to him, and of course he's trying to give the lies to Deku, so then that way they could trick All For One. But if you actually look at the artwork, which I think to me showed it in more detail in this episode, because you see his eyes and his expression now, how he's actually been looking like a regular, I don't know, traditional character. Now, to set the stage, Aoyama, in my opinion, has been not even a side character, but almost like a background filler character from the classroom. He's always been kind of like the joke of a character. Even Mineta, the grape guy, even he was kind of a better character than him, because even though he was also like a background character, he made a lot of jokes that were more scandalous and more, you know, of the fan service type. So he actually had, to me, even more of a character. This is so many seasons later when we finally get more of Aoyama, more out of him. This has literally pushed him from being such a background-like character to being more directly into the foreground and actually being someone that's like, oh, you actually have a character. We, of course, learn about his backstory and such and why he got to this point here. Slowly built him up over time. We had little breadcrumbs, of course, of him like going to Deku and like, you know, we're similar type deal, and then revealing why they're so similar. We had small little things here and there, but this season finally fleshed him out. And like I said, in this episode, if you look at his facial structure, which more than likely this is the reason why the animators drew it this way, he's more honest, you see who he really is. But then when he goes back into his twinkling character, his eyes are more slanted. They're not as open as they were before. So you kind of can see like, okay, it's almost like this is a persona. This isn't exactly who he is, but these last few episodes have kind of been stressing like, yes, previously this was a persona. This wasn't his real self, but now this is who he truly is. And this is what he wants to be. He wants to be a hero. He wants to actually be like his classmates and wants to put All For One behind him and take down the actual villains. So thus the final panel where he's exclaiming, where he's like, we are going to defeat you, it's almost like a outward expression of his thoughts. I really want to change who I am and actually fight for what I believe in and who I am now going forward. So to me, that last panel, this one right here, is just so good. Just such a good panel and such a good contrast of where we have the villains, we have the heroes, and they're about to clash, and it's going to go down for the next few episodes. And I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait. The season is definitely going to be even better and get good. I'm excited. I'm excited. That's why I'm smiling. I'm excited. But definitely tell me what you guys think. Am I off base? Am I wrong? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Tell me in the comments down below. Please no spoilers, but I definitely love to discuss with you guys and talk about this because this is getting good. But definitely make sure you like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe for more because we'll definitely discuss this anime and several others here on the channel. Please be safe. Take care, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.